Right, so more Aston Villa news. Amadou Onana signing for Aston Villa for 50 million. I think that is a good signing. Obviously, it's a good signing. You know, he's proved at Everton he's got something about him. He's young, plays regularly for Belgium. Definitely a good player. So he's obviously going to be Douglas Luiz's replacement. I'm not 100% sold on this. I think, well, Arsenal were also linked with Onana, and I wasn't 100% convinced either. Because even though I think he will go on to be a good player, I might be wrong, and I might be being harsh. I think the Everton games that I watched last season, he done some very good stuff most of the time, but there were certain games where he is a bit wasteful when it comes to possession. And he does lose the ball quite a lot, and he does dwell on the ball sometimes and get caught out. And maybe that's me being harsh, but I think to play for Unai Emery, one thing about Emery's style, which we learned as Arsenal fans, is that he likes to keep that ball at all costs. He wants the ball looked after, and he wants players who are safe. Like Guendouzi was an Unai Emery player all over. Like he was Unai Emery written all over him. And he likes players who look after that ball and they're very safe. And it can be a bit boring at times because sometimes they're just looking after the ball a little bit too much. And I just wonder if Onana is going to be a player who will struggle with that, because he does lose the ball quite a lot in games, but he does wonderful stuff with it. You know, he's got tremendous power, and his passing is very good, but it's just sometimes mentally he makes the wrong decisions. And I wonder if Unai Emery can get that out of his game, because I think with Douglas Luiz, what they had was a player who can look after the ball, really look after the ball. And it was a very underrated trait of his. He's just one of these guys that you never really feel like he'll give the ball away. It's just a bit like John McGinn as well. John McGinn's another one, and they're classic Unai Emery type players. And I think Onana's a little bit more rogue. It's kind of I'd say he takes more risks, but Emery doesn't really like that. He wants to keep it quite safe. And listen, it works for clubs like Aston Villa to have a manager like Unai Emery. You know, you've hit the jackpot, because that's definitely like his level, and that's not an insult either. I just feel with Unai Emery, for him to go to the next step as a manager and to manage a team like a Man City or an Arsenal, I always felt that was too much of a step. But that's where I feel like Onana could struggle a little bit with Villa, because I think he needs to make sure he cuts that out of his game. He can't be giving the ball away like the amount of times he was for Everton. But having said that, he's got all the attributes and all the potential to be a top midfield player. And he's either going to sink or swim. He's either going to get on with Unai Emery and they're going to work like a house on fire, or he's going to aggravate him. And Villa have already got options. They've got McGinn, they've got Kamara, Tielemans. I'm sure there's players I'm missing out, but I mean they've got options. So Onana will. I don't think Emery will be afraid to leave out Onana, but we'll see. You know, I think he might prove me wrong, but I just felt for Everton he was quite wasteful in possession at times, and that's why I was quite relieved that we didn't go and spend 50 million on him, because it's a lot of money. You know, it's a lot of money for a central midfielder, and you want to make sure you know what you're getting. But Aston Villa have got him, and does he make him stronger in central midfield? Of course he makes him stronger, but I just feel he'll need to adapt his game a little bit and make sure that he's quite serious about not giving the ball away, because he's going to play with a manager who likes to look after the ball. He doesn't want to do anything too risky, and Onana's kind of one of those players who likes to play that way. So we'll see. You know, he's definitely a talent, and only time will tell if he will be the answer for Aston Villa. But they're definitely, if there was a player who could replace Douglas Luiz, I think there's worse players than Amadou Onana. And yeah, let's hope for his sake that he kicks on in his career and really has a good season next year.